Hey, it's another episode with Are You Kidding Me? Just got through watching our governor on talk about half hour, 45 minutes about a tracking and tracing app that he's telling the Minnesotans to get and put on their phone. And no addressing of how to help people, or you look at the quarantine situation as it has now. Okay, so a person comes in contact with the COVID, okay? Somebody tells them that they have COVID, so they quarantine for 14 days. Or they go in and it takes them 8 to 10 days to get a test, and so then they get a test. While they're sitting there with the test, they quarantine for another 14 days. So now 24 days that they've been out of work because they've been quarantined for COVID. Where's the logic in the information that's being provided to the public? Or a person has to, okay, so they come in contact with their child that comes in from coming in contact with COVID. So the child comes down with COVID. So the parent is with that child for the 14 days of their quarantine. They get tested, so their quarantine starts over within their 14 days. They have had no symptoms, but they're out of work for 14 days. Come on, Governor. You talk about capacity, you talk about the stress that's on our medical institutions. You're going to sit there and talk about an app? Why not reach out to us ex-vets, ex-corpsmen, ex-EMTs, all those individuals that can actually relieve your staff? Why don't you spend some energy and effort and money into that? Why don't you spend some energy and effort into the independent contractors, the 1099 people, the individuals that actually run the country because they're business owners? No, they may not have 20 employees, but they probably have about 15, 20, 1099 people that they have on their payroll. Contractors, engineers, dog business people, groomers, all these individuals that are business owners that don't qualify for your subsidies and don't qualify for your grants and don't qualify for PPE or PPP, excuse me. You've got up there and have said nothing since March about helping the medical professions nor the small business owner. You've said nothing. And now you're going to talk about marketing an app for another company? That's not... The governor is not supposed to market an app for a company. You can tell it to the news, and the news can talk about it, but you should not be marketing a tracking device that Apple and Google are going to make money off of. Apple and Android are going to make money off of. Oh, it's free. No, it's not. They'll attach advertisement to it, and they're selling the piss out of it, and they're going to run advertisement on it. No, it's not a tracking device. It's only going to work by Bluetooth when a person comes in contact with a person that has Bluetooth on their phone. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you've now opened up your phone via Bluetooth for another phone, a good hacker can go right into your phone because of that app. Have you really investigated that? And you're going to tell your Minnesotans to get it. But you're not telling me as a Minnesotan what you're going to do for my small business that you told me I can't do business and work. You haven't told me as a small business what my fellow restaurant servers are supposed to do. They don't qualify for unemployment anymore because it ran out. You have not got up to the podium, not one time, to suggest what's going to help me. No, and for all those that jump on the economics, no, I'm not talking about just economics. I'm talking about individuals like myself that can no longer make a living because of the orders of shutdown that the governor puts in place. I don't know how many of you can live off of nothing. I'm talking about starving a business out, starving a farmer out. Look at the business destruction. If you're going to mandate that they have masks, you can't shut them down. You're standing up at the podium without a mask on. Guess what? So you're telling people that they can still go to Walmart, but they can't go to somebody's house. Think about it. Strangers go into Walmart, and there's more than 100 that walk in there. Do you not think that the people that have people coming over to their house have the same type of interaction that they're going to have at Walmart? They're going to stand around stuff. They're going to talk. They talk to the cashiers. They talk to people about what clothes are there. Have you not walked into a Walmart lately? And I'm going to say this again. Governor, until you stop taking a paycheck every single 2 weeks from or payment of any source, anywhere, anyhow, you can't tell the business owner to shut their doors. Stop taking a paycheck. As soon as you step at the podium and say, you know what, I'm no longer taking a paycheck, I'm going to try to live like the business owners are trying to live, then you'll have an understanding. But as long as it doesn't affect you, you don't have an understanding of it. It's not affecting you. It's not affecting you. And unless it affects you, you don't have any rational reason. I get bombarded with people going, well, you don't care about the healthcare workers. Yeah, I do. You only care about your economy and the bottom line. Not a one of you have jumped forward to pay my mortgage. The news will do an interview process of a poor server and somebody steps up to help her. Yep, I am so happy that happened. But guess what? That's one person out of 400,000, including me, that is now sitting at their house trying to figure out what they can do to make a penny. You turn around on yourself and take your checkbook, throw it in the trash can, and now figure out how you're going to pay the bills. Figure out how you're going to pay the mortgage. Figure out how you're going to pay the car payment. Figure out how you're going to pay the light bill, the gas bill, the electric bill, the internet. No, this is not just stuff. The internet is so that I can try to do business online. But guess what? People don't want to pay you because they're afraid. You're going to tell me that you're going to stand up there and market for another company. You won't even give me a call back. Why don't you market for Big D's Services? Why don't you take a period each month and market for one of the small businesses? Just mention them on the air so the millions of people that watch you can get exposure for free. So maybe they can survive. Or even mention like the Pine Brooks of the world, Pine Brook Restaurant. Or maybe even mention Big D's Services. Or maybe even mention Minuteman Press in Princeton and Cambridge. Maybe even mention Dr. Monty's Auto so that therefore he can survive. Why don't you mention the small business people? You're going to mention a worldwide app that they're going to make big cash on and not even protect and help your own people. Are you kidding me?